Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. We have been exploring number 10, and of course, 10 is the number of perfection, or it's when we do the numerical value for perfect. In fact, it equals 10. That's what I should say. 37, 3 plus 7 equals 10. And of course, there is a lot of information about 37 being a perfect number, but that's a little bit beyond me right now. Uh, the other thing that we have understood, we get to see the formation or function of how 10 becomes 9 and how 9 becomes 8. And, we have done this in several presentations. Of course, I have got a lot of, I consider them a lot. It's over 300 presentations, but I have covered the dynamics of how those numbers work out. Okay. I'm having fun with this presentation, so I do apologize if you have watched one of the presentations on male female, and which I have done several before, but this is more in depth. And of course, because this was really with the view of number 10, so I'm going to leave that as a reference. So if you have watched this and it ended a little bit abruptly, of course it was to do with my computer, but I do apologize. I would like to continue this presentation, so it will be part 2 here right now, because of course it is so delicious, and I just felt I needed to explore a little bit more. Now, sometimes we say a little bit more, but of course, who knows? Okay, so we have looked at male, female, and of course concluded that, of course, the male, what we see as male, we all know that, but it's really raising consciousness that we are of both male and female. Of course, we know that with men as well, having the female, is it chromosomes, or I'm not sure I've used the right word, but the female aspects, let's just say aspects, and just leave it safe. Okay, but here we see, of course, perhaps that's the part where we say that male and female are sharing the same, have that in common, because man, it relates all male, or that aspect of it, but with the womb, the WO is where, of course, a lot is, or differentiation is formed here. And we see that that WO, which is what I have been breaking down, part of the woman, so man equals 10 here, male equals 6, or female equals 6, I should say, and male equals 4. So we see when we add 4 plus 6 for male and female, that equals 10. So there, man now. So basically, male and female equals man. So man is the construct of male and female. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so man is the construct of male and female, but then the woman, the woman, this is, and it's perhaps no wonder it's so God created man, he created them equals 10. When we do THEM, let's just see if I can do this elsewhere. Yes, okay, 17 for God. Okay, right, so them, THEM, them is 4, 5, 8, 2. So that is 19. Okay, 19, 1 plus 9 equals 10. So it's just like in our sacrifice, the word sacrifice equals 10. Or I haven't, let's just see if I had a number of words that equals 10, like mirror, heaven, quite a few, okay. But let's look at here, sacrifice, which is our template, that equals 10, okay. So he created, he, and this is the thing, he created. I've just had this eureka. It's something that I have been saying, that Eve is creator, has been saying co-creator, but Eve is creator, because when we have been, okay, he created he, them, male and female. So he created. This is it. He created. This is not the essence of, well, part of the essence, but that was not the real focus of this presentation. But I just really want to make note of this here. So this is 8 plus 5 equals 13. 13. And here we see the bond. But this is what I have been going on with for the longest, that this 13 here is the breast, it's the bra. It's the bra, whether it was, well, it's the bra, it's the breast, it's the buttocks, it's everything that feeds, that nurtures. And this is what we are talking about here. This is the focus. It's now, it is our world, or where we're at now, is requiring that we have that balance in our society, in our nurturing and everything we are doing. Everything, meaning that is where Eve, we are balancing the elements or energy of Eve. And I am going to stress, anytime we are having this en together, ENER, we have 3 fives, we are hitting on that Eve vibration. That's what it's about. Okay, so so we see them, for instance, is 10. This is where it means man as well. Okay, so we've touched on that. Let's go back to he. So one of the things I saw is that on hair, I have been scanning hair in this sense of seeing how we have been playing the game, so to speak. And we have in him, we have all life and being. That's scriptural. In him, we have our shelter, or in him, we have our trust. In him, we have meaning. We have been given a teaching that God, him is God, which equals 3, by the way, which goes alongside that 3 vibrations, that 3, that breast, that buttocks, that the 3 vibration that nurtures. And here we see, but it is understandable in the sense we have that M here, because that M is like a 3. That M is like 3, that has that vibration. It carries the mother's aspect or signature here, and that is and the E, of course, has the same E vibration. So when we look at this here, for instance, there are two aspects here, 2 letters of these 3 masculine gender. Let's just put it this way for now, because this is not the purpose. The purpose is to be conscious of how we can create balance, because we have been taught things in a certain way that perhaps requires us at this stage to look at things at a different way. As I say, this is a pen. We could be looking at it this way, we could look at it that way, or the other way and this way. In fact, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's a 5. So I'm saying that is like 5, which is Eve, or 5 vibrations, or 5 dimensions. And so this is what we are seeing. Now, hair, so the free, as I had pointed out before, is like the bra. So it's them. So we see in them, which is 10. We see ME. This is where we say me, which equals 9. So that in them, that 9 is hair, but it also has he. So there is he, and there is me. So me and he, and yeah. And there's another thing that just came to me, but this is really not wanting to go. But we have the word hem, hair, which the hem is really, it's really a circle. This came to me when I studied and I read about, or it was like a eureka that came to me about the hem of Jesus Christ. When the woman with faith, she touched the hem of Christ, touched Christ's hem. So Christ is really 5, and well, whether it was Jesus, and she touched the hem. So this is where we are at. HEM would be, that would be 8 and 5, 13, and 4 would be 17. So 17 equals 8. This is why I am saying this is the stories that we have been taught. It's now high time we start looking at things at a different angle. The number 8 is that complete number, that the number of infinity. Of course, it's a hem. It's that which was twisted, or our eyes. It's like we have eyes, or we have eye, and we have a third eye. So this is what we are talking about, and this also equals to God. 17 equals to God. Okay, so and also 8. Now, if we look at the word 8, we would put this in word form, EIGHT. It would equal 4. So we are talking about the 4 corners of the earth. So this is what the woman of faith had touched Christ's hem. Christ meaning she was able to check her or touch for completely with the north, south, east, west. This is it here. Okay, so not straying too much. This is another thing altogether. Going back to he. So we see he is 13, and me, which is 9. Hence, we are always saying, me, this is why we are about me. But we can raise our consciousness of when we use me, we are again using that circle that I have just done. Because there is another way we have looked at the circle and see how it is also 8. So this is what we can do, because in fact, I better just do it now. On this circle or this column, this is where Eve and Adam ate of the fruit. The word ate equals 8, but we are using the word sacrifice as our template, and above here, this is why we have this 8 in the mouth, because Eve ate of the fruit. When you eat of something, of course, it equals 8. And here we have eye. The eyes were open. When you eat, your eyes are open, whether you shut your naked eyes, but the taste, the buds, the nutrients goes to all parts of your body, and of course it nourishes you. It the nourishments or nutritions rather becomes part of you. So your eye is open. But I need to really stress that all of that is that which we are. Okay. Going back to Mother Eve, the eye was open. So the letter I also equals 9. That is what I am saying here. When we do the numerical value for I, like here, the inland revenue, it equals 9. So that is the point here. Okay. Back to this, oh, I'm hoping I can get to complete this in this presentation. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Okay. So I have done the presentation of that this one follows is where I also touched upon where Christ had said, and it is said that it was something he uttered on the cross. I am no man, I am a worm. So this is in one of the Psalms. This is in Psalm, I think 21 or 22, but I'm not quite sure. Nowadays, you can Google something. I am no man, I am a worm. It's in one of the Psalms. Okay. And I don't mean this to sound as it does, but yeah, it's just saying I haven't got the exact term right now. And then in that, we get to understand that Christ was really saying, well, we see here, for instance, in the presentations I've done, he was reflecting a lot of the feminine characteristics, like him. Now, him is 21 and it has that 3 vibrations. When we use the word vibration, is 2, vibrations is 3. 3 is that, of course, we have talked about Christ with the Passover. So when we see the 3 as though it were breast that a child would feed from. So we see that vibration. We saw the Last Supper was in direct correlation or metaphorically as the Passover. A child feeds from one breast to the other. That was also what I saw as a Passover. Okay, and then we have the 3 vibration does this. Okay, and then we have hair. So 3 is W, it is M, it is E. Okay, and let's just say that they all breasts, depending on which angle you are looking from or you're at, and one could feed from. Okay, so that was the breast. And when Christ, of course, going back to saying that I am no man, I am a worm. So we done the numerical value for worm, which also equals 6. Okay, so no man, I'm not going to go into this anymore because I have but no man and woman are exactly the same numerical values. So this is 11 here, and this is 1. Of course, man is 1, and this is also 5 and 6, 11. So there we see how Jesus was 11. When we do the numerical value for the word Jesus, Jesus is 13151. We can see, as I say, wherever there is a 5, it's like Jesus was trying to talk about his mother Eve. It's like the nurturing aspect. Okay, so we have 4 and 6, 10 and 1, 11. Of course, 11 is that 2 breasts. We have 2 of everything, and that is what two breasts, two hands, foot, two feet rather, two eyes. We have two nostrils, two ears. So we have these twos, and these are the aspects of or makeup. I believe that Christ was getting us to pay attention to how we use them, and to strike a balance between the two breasts, or the two whatever it is. Okay, this is why we are bad, good, and bad, left and right, and so on. But at the end of the day, instead of saying two breasts, and we just say breasts, or there could be as many, it doesn't matter. It's just that it's just what it is. And so instead of saying it's good or bad, or left or right, it's just is. And that is the thing that we is important that we acknowledge that the word is 10, and everything is just is. So it's how we use them and make sense of them that really matters. Okay, so the point here, I'll just keep this here for now. Of course, this is Jesus the flower. Okay, um, going back to here. So the point I really wanted to show here is that when we added for Jesus, which is 11, we have done this here. So saying that we saw God as He, I have done the numerical values for His, He, and Him, and that equals, we get the numerical value for, say that masculine figure equals 7. 7, when we do the numerical value for 7, it equals 2. There we see how 2 is reflective again. So 2 is also in direct correlation with Jesus. The word Jesus, when we add 11, 1 and 1 together, it equals 2. We see how we are 7 because Eve is in the middle. Not only that, Eve is in the middle of that, but we were created in 6 days of the week, and on the 7th day God rested, meaning we were still part of God. Now, I also need to readdress this because something came to me today that when we say we're created on the 6th day, that is another thing for us to take in consideration, because it's how we have been learning the numbers that has been creating a different meaning for us. It's like we have been in kindergarten and now we need to really move up. Primary level, I would like to think that we are moving up further than that. Okay, so Eve is 7. And going back to where Christ, yes, of course, woman, where he says, I am no man, I am a worm. So that was another thing that Christ said. He used the word worm, which equals WORM, which equals 6. Of course, I have done the numerical values for that already. So when we see that Christ refers to himself and says, I am a worm, it's there. I've done this already. We saw that 6 is really the vibration of 33. 33 is Genesis, and of course, the word believe, which Christ spoke a lot about, also equals 33. So it's as if we see all these M's here. There's an M in the word, the text had, I am no man. So in the word man was M-A-N. I am no man. Okay, so there's one M, and I am a worm, so there's another. In fact, I don't have the text right now, but there were several M's, which we see that the M's are really reflective here, that they come together and form a flower. And it's although we have, again, we need to pay attention to the fact that now we see worms as something that is really disgusting, and that we we do not like them, we are scared of them, although we have them in our bodies, but we would not want to even acknowledge that. So here we are seeing that Christ is reminding us of that which we are, but the worm is that vibration, it's the wave of the three of that flower. Of course, we can imagine when the wind blows those lovely petals, we have a lovely flower sending lovely fragrance. Okay, so the six is what I wanted to make this attachment to. So looking at the six here, when he says, I am a worm, which is six, and of course we see that when we do the numerical values for she, hers, and her, all adds up to 14, which is 0.5, I'm sorry, 1 plus 4 is 5. So that takes us into the direct correlation with Eve. And when we do the numerical value for 5, it comes to 6, which is the worm that Christ was talking about. So for Christ to have said that I am a worm, he was also saying I am 5, I am Eve. So just to show you, we see it's reflected in the 7, where he's also 11, because 1 and 1 is 2. So we see that happens here. And of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 1, it also equals 7. This is another thing. Okay, so it equals 7, and when we do the numerical value for 7, it equals 2. So there we have this. Okay, so 5 is here. Hence it is said, when we are in Christ, we are a new creature. This is where we come into this column of accepting Christ. We could see, even with using the word water, which is Eve, as part of our template, this is like nailing the whole story there in the middle with the word et. And we see, of course, food is always a part of it. So, as I say, looking at the story of Christ with eating with the disciples, with the 13, the number 13, of course, again, it was here, 13. It's like the depiction of, or the essence of having his mother's presence. But here I'm going to have to do another presentation, because we have he who was the creator is present in all these aspects here. In she, the S here, we could say with the serpent, back and forth here, but he is here, he was here. And so to say, for Christ to say, I am 5, we could see, or to perceive Christ, or to say that he was a creator or with God, it makes sense here as well, because we see he, which is 13, like here, the 13, but it's also really stating the three, how would I, okay, it's also stating 3 fours, 12, and 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. That vibration is there as well. But the point I'm really making here is that when we study certain scriptures, like in Genesis, when he said, and God created and he created. So it's either there were clearly two creators there in the scriptures, and he, in this case, would be clearly referring, or I'm thinking should be referring to Eve, but if not here, of course we have father equals, I think 13 or 31. But there, of course, Revelation is going to teach us exactly how this goes. So I'm going to end this on this note. I hope you have found this insightful. Please like, subscribe, and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualize in soulful love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be a field, because we are planting new seeds. And stay ignited. Yes, I think ignited is 5. Just thinking, okay, leave you with this. Bye.